discussion போயிட்டு இருக்கு. But so far there has been no evidence on that. So what are the major symptoms of this disease? In the disease பாத்தீங்கன்னா actually normal flu, normal ஜலதோஷம் மாதிரி தான் இருக்கும். Every year we have actually the normal influenza outbreak. அது yearly வரும். It has very similar actually to this influenza outbreak. இது பாத்தீங்கன்னா there will be a high degree temperature, usually about 38 degrees Celsius, and especially there will be actually features of respiratory distress. அதுக்கு அர்த்தம் மூச்சு வாங்குறதுல வந்து difficulty இருக்கும். And there will be also cough. இருமல் வரும், ஏன்னா வந்து சளி வந்து வராது அதுல. That is very cardinal features, important features. Also there are some minor features such as body pain, and some patients are also reported digestive problems, not many of them. So the incubation period. So what is incubation period? Incubation period is ஒரு duration, and உங்களுக்கு வந்து ஒரு நாளுக்கு first for example வந்து ஒரு infection, you got infected at day 1, அதுக்கப்புறம் உங்களுக்கு ஒரு 4-5 நாள் பிறகுதான் வந்து அதோட symptoms தெரிய வரும். So that is called the incubation period. Incubation period for this virus is on an average 5 to 6 days. But this is actually just an average measure. Some people have actually showed the symptoms more than 14 days also. So those are actually outliers. And this is very important because நம்ம வந்து இப்போ பாத்தீங்கன்னா எல்லாரும் 14 days வீட்ல இருந்தா போதும், we will be saved அப்படின்னு சொல்லி ஒரு வதந்தி இருக்கு. But it's not necessary.
Grish, sorry. Yes.
Okay. So I'll proceed. So I was discussing about the incubation period, right? So the incubation period on average is 5 to 6 days, but it's not a set figure of it. It can be more than 14 days as well. So that is the important I was discussing about, that some cases actually there are more than 14 days, and even like it takes 1 month. Why it is important is we should make sure that once we get the infection, it's not necessarily that we can be all right within a period of time. It can take a longer period of time as well. It depends on the person. So what are the major risk factors for getting this infection? Risk factors is a specific category actually. It's like everyone is at risk, but these people are at more risk when compared to others. So looking at the risk factors, it's compromised immunity. Immune system வந்து பாத்தீங்கன்னா யாருக்கெல்லாம் வந்து வீக்கா இருக்கும்? Already வந்து infected persons, இல்ல someone having medications. இப்போ cancer patients எல்லாம் பாத்தீங்கன்னா வந்து they are under immunosuppressant therapy. அவங்களுக்குலாம் வந்து இந்த வைரஸ் வந்து ஈஸியா பாதிக்கும். ஆல்சோ வந்து இம்பார்ட்டன்ட் சோர்ஸ் ஆஃப் இன்ஃபர்மேஷன் பாத்தீங்கன்னா எல்லாத்தோட இம்பார்ட்டன்ட் வந்து if you are near an infected person, that is actually the main source of infection. So you will be like going to a supermarket, you don't know actually like some person is infected, and அவங்களுக்கும் தெரியாது, தெரியாம வந்து they are actually coughing or sneezing. It's a very good opportunity for the virus to get attached to you, and especially it gets attached to the surfaces, which I will discuss in some time. So which are the population specifically at risk? Mostly the population at risk is elderly, 60 years and above, and people who are living with multiple health conditions such as blood pressure, diabetes, as I told, cancer, and also there is a group of people who are healthcare professionals. They are the most at risk because they are directly actually in contact and treating the patients, right? And also blue collar workers who are actually taking care of our daily activities such as cleaning, delivering items. So those are actually the vulnerable population. The report says that about 80% of the people, 80% of the affected people will recover without needing any treatment. But however, 20% may actually require hospitalization, and 20% require hospitalization na உங்களுக்கு வந்து அந்த symptoms வந்து ரொம்ப ஜாஸ்தியா இருக்கும், fever வந்து ரொம்ப ஜாஸ்தியா இருக்கும், இல்ல வந்து மூச்சு வாங்குறது வந்து ரொம்ப சிவியரா இருக்கும். அந்த மாதிரி கண்டிஷன்ல தான் you will actually reach out for a doctor. So இப்போ பாத்தீங்கன்னா 80% of the people வந்து அவங்களுக்கு அந்த டிசீஸ் இருக்கிறதே அவங்களுக்கு தெரியாது. They are in fact actually able to recover from home itself. So that is a good thing. And only 5% of all the affected people will face critical illness. And critical illness பாத்தீங்கன்னா mostly வயசானவங்க, அதுக்கப்புறம் அந்த ஹெல்த் கேர் ஒர்க்கர்ஸ், அவங்களுக்கு வந்துட்டு அந்த இல்னஸ் வந்து பாதிப்பு ஜாஸ்தியா வரும். இந்த இன்ஃபெக்ஷன் வந்து எதுக்கு ரொம்ப டேஞ்சரஸ்னு பாத்தீங்கன்னா it has a high contagion. இப்போ கண்டேஜன் பாத்தீங்கன்னா R0ன்னு சொல்லுவாங்க. ரொம்ப பேர் இப்போ வந்து கேள்விப்பட்டிருப்பீங்க, R0 எல்லாம் டிஸ்கஸ் பண்ணுவாங்க. அது என்னன்னா வந்து சிம்பிள் வேர்ட்ஸ்ல ஒருத்தர் வந்து இன்ஃபெக்ட் ஆச்சுன்னா திஸ் வைரஸ் கேன் இன்ஃபெக்ட் close to 3 to 4 people. When we are talking about normal influenza and other virus, they can spread to 1 to 2 people. This is almost like double that amount. It can easily spread. பட் இதுல வந்து பாத்தீங்கன்னா விருலன்ஸ்னு சொல்லுவாங்க. விருலன்ஸ்னா வந்து அதோட சக்தி. அதோட சக்தி வந்து when compared to other viruses like SARS and MERS, it is comparatively less. So it's in a good way. It's not so harmful, but it spreads at a faster rate. So what is the current update of the diagnosis and treatment? So the testing kits which are available right now, mostly for diagnosis, there is something known as the rapid testing PCR. Rapid testing PCR usually gives you a result in 30 minutes time in the lab setting. So usually ideally பாத்தீங்கன்னா உங்களுக்கு இப்போ டெஸ்ட் பண்ணியாச்சுன்னா உங்களுக்கு மேக்ஸிமம் அதே ஈவினிங் இல்ல நாளைக்குள்ள உங்களுக்கு அது கிடைச்சு வரும். ஸோ இந்த டெஸ்டிங் வந்து இட்ஸ் ஆக்சுவலி ஃபோக்கஸ்ட் ஆன் த வைரஸோட கல்ச்சர். அந்த வைரஸ் வந்து அதை பத்தி வந்து டெவலப்மெண்ட் அதோட இது வந்து பார்த்துட்டு தான் இந்த வைரஸ் டெஸ்டிங் பண்ணுவாங்க. Understanding of if you are having the virus in your body or not. Next test is actually the serological test. So serological test na edik important. You are looking at actually antibodies. இப்போ உங்களுக்கு வந்து வைரஸ் வந்துருச்சு, but after a period of time, for example 1 week or 10 days, உங்க உடம்புல வந்து ஒரு ஆன்டிபாடிஸ்னு சொல்லுவாங்க வந்துட்டு லைக் செல்ஃப் டிஃபென்ஸ் மெக்கானிசம், அது வந்து ஆக்டிவேட் ஆயிரும். ஸோ இந்த டெஸ்ட் த்ரூவா வந்து உங்களுக்கு அந்த ஆன்டிபாடிஸ் இருக்கான்னு வந்து தெரிய வரும். இது எதுக்கு பண்றாங்கன்னா, நான் முன்னாடி சொன்னல உங்களுக்கு ஆல்மோஸ்ட் 80% ஆஃப் த பீப்புள் they will not be able to know if they are having the disease. பட் இந்த சீரோலாஜிக்கல் டெஸ்டிங் மூலமா அவங்களுக்கு வந்து தெரிய வரும் இந்த மாதிரி ஆன்டிபாடிஸ் அவங்களுக்கு இருக்கு. ஸோ தே ஆர் இன்ஃபெக்டட், அவங்களுக்கு வந்து இன்ஃபெக்ஷன் இருந்திருக்கு, probably they are not showing the symptoms. இது எதுக்கு இம்பார்ட்டன்ட்னா, இம்பார்ட்டன்ட் so that you will isolate these cases and இவங்க வந்து நம்மளுக்கு பரப்ப முடியாம லைக் they will be actually isolated and quarantined. அவங்கள ஃபாலோ அப் பண்ணனா வந்து இந்த இன்ஃபெக்ஷன் வந்து வேறவங்களுக்கு திருப்பி பரவாது. So this is another kind of test. Looking at the number of tests, for example, US has done so far around 40 lakhs. அதனால actually USல obviously வந்து என்ன விஷயம்னா cases ஜாஸ்தியா இருக்கு because அவங்க டெஸ்ட் ஜாஸ்தியா பண்ணிட்டு இருக்காங்க. India has done only 4 lakh tests so far and we are trying to increase the capacity. So other reason actually நம்ம யோசிப்போம் வந்து இந்தியால வந்து நம்பர்ஸ்லாம் கம்மியா இருக்கு, only close to 15,000 தான் இருக்கு இப்போ அப்படின்னு. பட் நம்ம டெஸ்ட் பண்ணதே வந்து 4 lakh டெஸ்ட் தான் பண்ணிருக்கோம். So we need to actually ramp up that testing abilities. But இது வந்து it's a lot of factors are involved. We need to get the test kits, also வந்து பாத்தீங்கன்னா production of the test kits அதெல்லாம் இருக்கு. So that's an ongoing process. Looking at the treatment aspect, there's been a lot of going around with the treatment aspects that the herbal treatment is better or hydrochloroquine is better அப்படின்னு. These are actually drugs which are used for off-label use. People have tried it and some people it's working. It's not actually an approved medication or there is no protocol which is in place for the treatment. However, in severe cases of pneumonia, oxygen therapy is given. அதனால இந்த ventilators பத்தி ஒரு பெரிய டிஸ்கஷன் போயிட்டு இருக்கு. And why people will need ventilators? Because at the end stage of the disease, they will be requiring this oxygen support for recovery. It's very important. So what is the current data about this infection? As you can see, this is an epidemiological breakdown map showing the density of the cases in different countries. So if you can see, actually, the most of the focus is towards the European countries as well as US and Alaska. India is also catching up, as you see. It's also darker, but the least spread is in African countries as well as in Greenland. So as of now, that is today, the 19th April, there are close to 23 lakh cases, and I have given a number in brackets. What that means is about out of the 23 lakh cases, 15 lakh cases are active. So right now the situation is ongoing. The other cases have recovered, but out of this, about 1,59,000 patients have died. So approximately there is a fatality percentage of 4 to 5%. In India, currently there are 16,000 cases, and number of reported deaths is 527. And in Tamil Nadu, right now, we have 1,372 cases with 15 deaths. Specifically, I can understand that this training was conducting for the Tirulur district. So I took some data from there and I found out that there are till date 47 cases in the Tirulur district, with Chennai having actually a case of 240, which is highest for Tamil Nadu. And also, if you can see the graph on the right, I have given about actually which countries are facing this highest mortality. If you can see, have a look at it. I don't know if it's visible, but the highest rate is for Italy and United Kingdom is followed by that. And we cannot see India, but we can also see China that the cases have dropped down and drastically it's been flattened. So this is called flattening the curve. It's very important for us to get it to a level to go down. And all the countries around the world are taking drastic measures, including lockdown and curfew, but even our country is too. So இதுல வந்து ரொம்ப இம்பார்ட்டன்டான விஷயம் வந்து கிளஸ்டர் அண்ட் கான்டாக்ட் ட்ரேசிங். ஸோ கான்டாக்ட் ட்ரேசிங்னா என்னது? You will find someone actually with a disease or suspected to have a disease. ஸோ அவங்கள வந்து ரீச் பண்ணி நீங்க டெஸ்ட் பண்றீங்க. அவங்கள டெஸ்ட் பண்ணி பார்த்ததுல வந்து அவங்களுக்கு வந்து பாசிட்டிவா வந்திருக்காங்க. ஸோ என்ன பண்ணுவீங்க நீங்க? அவங்களோட கான்டாக்ட் யார்கிட்டலாம் வந்து அவங்க பேசியிருக்காங்க, யார்கிட்டலாம் மீட் பண்ணியிருக்காங்க, சாரி, அண்ட் ஆர் தே ஒர்க்கிங் சம்வேர், ஒர்க் பண்ற இடத்துல வந்து என்னெல்லாம் வந்து யாரெல்லாம் இருக்காங்க, ஆர் இஃப் தே ஆர் ரீசென்ட்லி கான் அவுட் சம்வேர் டு அ பார்ட்டி ஆர் அ ரெஸ்டாரண்ட், அதுல வந்து அவங்க அந்த கான்டாக்ட்ஸ் த்ரூவா வந்து பிடிச்சி அவங்கள ஐசோலேட் பண்ணி வைப்பாங்க, அவங்கள டெஸ்ட் பண்ணுவாங்க. அதுல வந்து அந்த ஃபர்தரா வந்து டெஸ்ட் பண்ணதுல வந்து ஏதாவது கேசஸ் ஏதாவது இருந்துச்சுன்னா அதையும் திருப்பி அந்த ஒரு ஸ்ட்ரக்சர் மாதிரி போயிட்டே இருப்பாங்க. ஸோ திஸ் இஸ் கால் கான்டாக்ட். இந்த கான்டாக்ட் ட்ரேசிங் த்ரூவா வந்து நம்மளுக்கு வந்து கிளஸ்டர்ஸ் வந்து கண்டுபிடிக்கலாம், எங்கெல்லாம் இடத்துல வந்து ரிஸ்க் வந்து ஜாஸ்தியா இருக்கு. அதனால ரீசெண்ட் டைம்ஸ்ல நீங்க பார்த்திருப்பீங்க, இந்த கேசஸ்லாம் வந்து இருக்கிற ஏரியா வந்து க்ளோஸ் டவுன் பண்ணி வச்சிருக்காங்க. So that it doesn't spread further. So we have to support the government on these measures. It's very important that measures are taken. So to talk something about the virus வந்து எதுக்கு இப்போ டேஞ்சரஸ்னு பார்த்தீங்கன்னா, it has the ability to survive in different conditions for a long duration. For example, it has been actually proved that in copper வந்து பார்த்தீங்கன்னா காயின்ஸ் and vessels இதெல்லாம் இருக்கு பாருங்க, அதுல வந்து till 4 hours இருக்குன்னு சொல்லியிருக்காங்க. To normal air, when we actually are talking and normally disperses through airல வந்து இது 3 hours இருக்குன்னு சொல்லியிருக்காங்க. So I was discussing about the air dispersal. சரிங்களா? airல வந்து பார்த்தீங்கன்னா it will be suspended for 3 hours. But recently it's been actually researched that micro droplets வந்து அது வந்து spread ஆகுதுல, it can also stay till 1 day in the air itself. Once it reaches the different surfaces like cardboard, it can stay for 1 day over there. Most dangerously, actually, like looking at the surfaces like stainless steel and water bottles or plastics in general, they can stay up to 3 days or even more. And looking at another aspect, this is to do with the humidity. Humidity பத்தி இப்போ ரீசெண்டா சொல்லியிருக்காங்க, இந்த டெம்பரேச்சர் இருந்தா வந்து வராது அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு. அப்படி ஒண்ணும் இல்ல, இந்த டெம்பரேச்சர் இருந்தா அது வந்து உங்களுக்கு டேஸ், அந்த நம்பர் ஆஃப் டேஸ் வந்து will be less, but it can still survive. It can still survive for 2 to 3 days. So what are the recommended safety measures? These have been measures given by the organizations such as the WHO as well as the CDC, Center of Disease Control. இவங்களோட இன்ஃபர்மேஷன் வந்து it's a top class and very trustable sources of information. So அவங்க என்ன சொல்றாங்கன்னா, மெயினா வந்து இந்த இன்ஃபெக்ஷன் வந்து it spreads to the air droplets. So it's very important to keep ourselves clean as well as wash our hands wherever possible, because we are in actually touch with, when you are going to the public, it's easy that we will get in touch with different products, or like a doorknob, or getting in touch with some products which have been used by other people. So அந்த மாதிரி டச் இருக்கும்போது வந்துட்டு it's very important to keep your hands clean as many times as possible. அது நீங்க பண்ணலாம், cleaning வந்து. Then what you can do is, once you have touched these items, try to avoid touching your face, because once you are touching your face, it's easy for the virus to get inside it. So that is the main port of entry virus வந்து. So that's why அவங்க அவாய்ட் பண்ணுங்க ஃபேஸ், அதெல்லாம் வந்து டச் பண்றதுல வந்து அவாய்ட் பண்ணுங்கன்னு சொல்றாங்க. Another way to actually decontaminate is surfaces வந்து using actually disinfectant. So if you use disinfectants like like alcohol disinfectant, or இப்போ நீங்க cleaning solutionsலாம் இருக்கு பாருங்க, கோலின் அந்த மாதிரிலாம் இருக்கும் வந்துட்டு, அது நீங்க எடுத்து அப்ளை பண்ணிட்டு அந்த கிளாஸ் சர்ஃபேஸா இல்லைன்னா வந்துட்டு கிரானைட் அந்த மாதிரி சர்ஃபேஸ்ல வந்து நீங்க கிளீன் பண்ணிக்கலாம். And the most important instruction they are given is to stay at home. Or if you are feeling sick or having any symptoms which is not severe, stay at home and take rest. That is the most important message over here. In the terms of getting information, you should follow actually the websites and the instructions given by our local authorities as well as the governmental organizations. Keep up to date with the information, but have this up to date information from the right source, not through WhatsApp or Facebook. Okay? And especially try to avoid rumors about it. Once you are not, you can get like n number of forwards, and it's easy for us to actually start spreading the rumors about the fake news. So it's very important not to spread fake news, and also check the authenticity of the news. So how do you ensure your own safety and safety of others? There's been a lot of discussion about PPE. PPE na patient ப்ரொடெக்டிவ் எக்யூப்மெண்ட். அது வந்து எல்லாரும் வாங்கணும், லைக் எல்லாரும் வந்து யூஸ் பண்ணணும், N95 யூஸ் பண்ணணும் அப்படி வந்து சொல்லிட்டு இருக்காங்க. பட் இட்ஸ் நாட் ரெக்கமெண்டட் ஃபார் ஜெனரல் பப்ளிக். இது வந்து பாத்தீங்கன்னா ஹெல்த் கேர் ப்ரொஃபஷனல்ஸ்க்கு தான் வந்து தேவை. பிகாஸ் அவங்களுக்கு தான் வந்து டைரக்ட் எக்ஸ்போஷர். ஸோ அவங்களுக்கு வந்து இப்போ அந்த மெட்டீரியல்ஸ் இல்லைன்னா வந்து அவங்க தான் பாதிக்கப்படுவாங்க. அண்ட் இன்ஃபேக்ட் ஆக்சுவலி 10% ஆஃப் த பீப்புள் டைங் ஆர் ஹெல்த் கேர் ப்ரொஃபஷனல். ஸோ இட்ஸ் வெரி இம்பார்ட்டன்ட் ஃபார் தோஸ் பீப்புள் டு ஹேவ். ஜெனரலா வந்து பப்ளிக் வந்து என்ன சொல்றாங்கன்னா, யூ கேன் யூஸ் அ நார்மல் மாஸ்க், ஃபேஸ் மாஸ்க் வந்து யூஸ் பண்ணீங்க, பட் நோ நீட் ஃபார் யூசிங் ஸ்பெஷல் மாஸ்க். இப்போ FP சொல்லுவாங்க, அந்த மாஸ்கில் N95 தேவை. You can just use normal cloth mask. Other important measures that public should do is to keep a social distance measure. They should keep a measure of 1.5 meters to each other. இந்த 1.5 meters வந்து பாத்தீங்கன்னா ஒரு அப்ராக்சிமேஷன். பிகாஸ் ரீசென்ட் டைம்ஸ் ஐ ரெட் a paper that almost close to 3 meters வரைக்கும் கூட இந்த இன்ஃபெக்ஷன் இது போகலாம். But it's recommended that at least ஒரு 1.5 meters you should keep a distance where possible and avoid crowds. And more importantly, the next instruction is avoid shaking hands and touching surfaces in the public, like doorknobs. அந்த மாதிரிலாம் வந்து கொஞ்சம் டச் பண்ணா கூட வந்துட்டு try to keep yourself clean and wash your hands. And if you are coughing and sneezing, don't please do it in the open. Try to cover it with your elbow. கையில வந்துட்டு கப் பண்ணாங்க இருமாங்க, எல்போ வந்துட்டு பண்ணி வச்சுட்டு அதுல வந்து நீங்க விரும்புங்க கப் பண்ணுங்க, or else use a tissue paper. In this video I have selected a video for showing you the hand washing technique. I think the presentation will be given out to everyone who is watching now. And maybe in if time permits you can have a look at it. And not everyone is able to actually use alcohol based sanitizer. Of course there is a crisis of the sanitizer in the market. Even inga na Netherlands la irukku, inga kuda kedaikka maatengudhu enakku. So it's a lot of demand. But what I would suggest is hand washing is enough. Hand washing is a very good measure and it's more than enough. It's not necessary that you have to actually have a sanitizer. And the most important instruction of all is to stay at home and cooperate with the government measures. As far as it is in place, it is all for your safety. இவங்க வந்து பாத்தீங்கன்னா the government measures are not taken actually just randomly, but it is actually given for all the well wishers. It's being done evidence based. எல்லாரும் வந்து ரெக்கமெண்டேஷன்ஸ்லாம் வந்து கேட்டுட்டு டாக்டர்ஸ் அண்ட் சயின்டிஸ்டோட ரெக்கமெண்டேஷன் கேட்டுட்டு தான் வந்துட்டு உங்களுக்கு இந்த லாக்டவுன் மெஷர்ஸ். So try to use this measure as far as possible. Coming on to another important point is to talk about the fake facts which have been circulating in the media as well as different outlets. For last week I think I read a tweet from Amitabh Bachchan telling that this virus will spread through flight, and it created a lot of attention. But unfortunately, even public figures, like important public figures, are not aware of the fact. It doesn't actually transmit through fly or any other insect. At least till now, there has been no evidence. So it spreads only through human to human as far, and there has been no evidence of it spreading through other pets, like for example, like cats or dogs. They do not spread. So you can be rest assured for that. As of now, there was also a very big controversy about 5G signals causing the spread. If China is actually causing this on their own, it is no possibility that it will spread through the 5G signal. 5G signals ko biological spread ko vandu samaname illa. It is just a hoax rumor which has been spreading around. Next, people think that those who have symptoms cannot transmit it. It is totally wrong. As I told, 80% of the people might not actually have serious symptoms and they can recover. But they can still transmit it. This transmission can take place at the level of elderly or any person which is vulnerable, and they can get drastically affected. Moving on to the next. It is the exposure to sun. As we discussed actually even in the previous slide, people think that being exposed to the sun, Surya நம்ம இடத்துல வந்து பாத்தீங்கன்னா ரொம்ப ஹீட் ஜாஸ்தியா இருக்கு அப்படின்னு சொல்றதுனால அதுல வந்து நம்மளுக்கு வைரஸ் ஸ்ப்ரெட் ஆகாது, ரொம்ப ரூமர்ஸ் அந்த மாதிரி எல்லாம் இருக்கு. அது வந்து வைரஸ் வந்து ஸ்ப்ரெட் ஆகிறதுக்கும் இதுக்கும் சம்பந்தம் இல்லை. வைரஸ் கேன் ஆக்சுவலி ஸ்டே இன் த சன். It's not necessary that it will die out, but the duration of that viability is reduced. But it can still survive. And also people are thinking that using herbal medicines or drinking alcohol is it can kill the virus, but unfortunately it doesn't. And also younger people வந்து பாத்தீங்கன்னா யங் பீப்புள் வந்து நாங்க வந்து யூத் தான், எப்படி எங்க எங்கனாலும் வந்து சுத்தலாம் போலாம் அப்படின்னு சொல்லிருக்காங்க. இது that's wrong actually. A lot of younger people are also getting that disease. So it affects everyone, and it's not necessary that it's elderly people who are getting, all the elderly people are getting the disease. I have also attached a link where you can look at different myths and their facts. It's a WHO source. நீங்க பாத்துக்கலாம். And I'm coming to the last slide, which is to talk about the trusted sources, which is the Center for Disease Control, CDC, and this is based in the United States. அவங்க வந்து ஒரு ஏபெக்ஸ் பாடி வந்து இந்த ரிசர்ச் அண்ட் வாட்ஸ் கோயிங் ஆன் அண்ட் தே வில் கிவ் யூ ஆல் த ப்ராப்பர் கைட்லைன்ஸ் அண்ட் அஃப்கோர்ஸ் வேர்ல்ட் ஹெல்த் ஆர்கனைசேஷன் இருக்கு. ஃபாலோட் பை தட் இஃப் யூ வாண்ட் டு லுக் அட் த ப்ராப்பர் டேட்டா, healthdata.orgன்னு சொல்லிட்டு இட்ஸ் ஃபெடரல் கவர்மெண்ட் ஃபண்டட் ப்ராஜெக்ட். ஸோ அவங்களோட டேட்டா வந்து வெரி ஆத்தென்டிக் as well as the worldometers ஓட இன்ஃபர்மேஷன். வெரி ட்ரஸ்டட் சோர்ஸ். இந்தியாவில் வந்து பாத்தீங்கன்னா ஹெல்த் அண்ட் ஃபேமிலி வெல்ஃபேரோட வெப்சைட் இருக்கு. தட் இஸ் mygovernment.in. You can get all the recent information and up to date developments regarding this. தமிழ்நாடுல ஸ்பெசிபிக்கலி வந்துட்டு ஒரு வெப்சைட் அவங்க கிரியேட் பண்ணியிருக்காங்க, தமிழ்நாடு கவர்மெண்ட். அதுல வந்து என்ன ரீசெண்ட் அட்வான்ஸ்மெண்ட்ஸ் இருக்கோ அதெல்லாம் வந்து அதுல அப்டேட் பண்ணியிருக்காங்க அண்ட் மெஷர்ஸ் அதை பத்தியும் சொல்லியிருக்கேன். You can also find out the details about the red zone and the clusters, and also given about two different, AIIMS and ICMR ஓட website details கொடுத்திருக்கேன். You can check out this information and figure out if might need any useful links for that. So this is the end of the presentation. We can now take some questions.
So doctor, can you do you have access to the chat, or do you want me to pick up the questions and shoot it to you so that you can respond?
I am trying to get to the question, but it will be good actually if you can also get me through all the, because I think I might be missing some questions. So if you can actually make through the important questions, or even if you can unmute and talk now.
Doctor is they're saying how to dispose the mask, safely dispose the mask. That is a question from Jay Chandra.
Okay. So safely disposing the mask, actually, even I recently saw some reports that people are actually disposing the mask outside, and in fact what is happening is the dogs and other animals on the street, they are actually getting in touch with that, and it might be a problem as well, that there might be some infection, and there are a lot of people actually are homeless as well. So இது வந்து ஒரு reason of spread-க்கு வந்து இருக்கும். What you can do is like dispose it in the containers which has been given for the waste disposal. You can just put it in a cover and you can put it in a normal disposable, like try to put it in communal disposal. இதெல்லாம் இருக்கும்ல, okay, municipality provide பண்றது, அதுல வந்து நீங்க டம்ப் பண்றது பெட்டர். Even you can avoid to have it at home. Yeah.
So one question is, so as you say that 20% can be is treated through the hospital, while 80% are cured at home without hospitalization.
Yes.
Do we have,
yes.
So do we have any data to it, or how do we what are the best measures to be at home where the 80% can be cured?
The important steps to be over here is to manage yourself with the symptoms. You're getting main symptoms of fever and cough, and there is actually like properly there is no need for you to get treatment as such, because sometimes these symptoms can go off their own. It's like normally having a cough or normally having a fever. Only if the symptoms actually reach to a critical level. For example, if you're having breathlessness which is not able to be controlled, or if you are having actually like confusion or like mental disturbances, அந்த மாதிரி சிச்சுவேஷன்ல வந்து முடியல அப்படின்னா வந்துட்டு டாக்டர் கிட்ட வந்து நீங்க சொல்லணும். That too, you should give a call to the doctor and tell you about the situation.
So another question is, what is the alternate for sodium hypochlorite for disinfecting office premises?
Office premises disinfection, actually you can also dilute Dettol with 1 part of water and 1 part of alcohol. You can use it and it can be a good disinfection. Any alcohol based disinfectant is good. Mostly வந்து பாத்தீங்கன்னா IPA வந்து தான் அதோட மெயின் ingredient, isopropyl alcohol. But like alcohol based sanitizers available இல்லைன்னா you can use like Dettol and like Sartol or Dettol and such solutions. You can use it and rub on the surfaces.
Another question is, so for the animals, can the transmission occur through fomites?
It's not necessarily actually. It's moving on through fomites. Research has been like going on that there has been transmission through different animals, but animal to animal transmission is not till now been evidence. Mostly actually the concern is through the bats. and even the bats actually was through the the China mainland. Right now, the infection is taking place from human to human. So you need not worry about the transmission from other forms of animals or insects, to be that matter. Yeah. So that they are all rumors which has been going around. So you need not worry about that kind of transmission. Yeah.
Okay. So, and we all read about hydroxychloroquine. How
Yes.
effective is this? And we also read about certain side effects that it brings out. So,
Yes.
can
Yes.
you throw some light on it?
So hydroxychloroquine is an approved drug for treating malaria. So there have been some doctors in specific countries who have used this drug to treat a few people, and they have actually found it to be effective. It's not a recommendation, but people have tried it using that. So that is why actually there has been a lot of discussion about hydroxychloroquine as one of the drugs to treat it. But trials right now are going on. They are still in the phases. They are still in the initial phases of testing. So we cannot say anything about its potency till the results of the trials are come out. But it's one of the off-label use. அது வந்து like some doctors prefer to use it. So we cannot actually say that it is like a cure for it. But some doctors are using it for it. And main important what I wanted to tell is not to actually self-medicate, thinking that you are having it. It's easy to access such medicines in Indian market. Please do not self-medicate. It has harmful side effects as well. And இப்போ வந்து நீங்க self-medicate பண்ணிட்டீங்கன்னா, like people who actually are suffering from malaria or similar conditions, they do not have access to those drugs. So I would suggest not to actually buy hydrochloroquine yourself and medicate it. Yeah.
Got it. The next question, a couple of questions here, two questions in the same thing. So, what is so after this pandemic comes to a close, right?
Yeah.
So now here in Indian government, there are certain strict measures of lapsing the lockdown from tomorrow with certain with certain guidelines. Now, how do we take it? Some people might even think this as an opening, and then they can go all out. So, what is your recommendation? One, two. What are certain measures that we can take for the preparedness for the next pandemic? Anything of that sort?
Okay. To answer your first question, yes, actually we cannot keep the economy closed forever, right? It's having an impact on everyone's life. So there will be actually a phased out release, even though it's not announced officially. The United States actually they have announced that they are actually going to release in 3 phases. There has been a lot of guidelines about this. So slowly people are actually getting this information out, and there will be people who will be going out. It's very important at this time to know the information that it's not ended, it's nowhere ended. There will be actually slow opening. There have been segregation about different areas. எந்தெல்லாம் ஏரியா வந்து ரிஸ்கா இருக்கு அதெல்லாம் வந்து க்ளோஸ் டவுனா தான் வச்சிருப்பாங்க. Some areas where the cases are less, you will be actually able to get on with the activities, but it's very important to keep all the measures which has been recommended, like social distancing measures and safety measures and measures like washing your hands and hygiene, which has to be followed for a longer period of time. Yes. And if I'm not able to get the second question, what was the second question?
The second question was about preparedness for the next pandemic. Anything to learn from this, and keep ourselves as a kind of a set of good habits that we have to continue.
Okay, that's a very good question actually, because I think this pandemic is an eye opener, and we should be investing a lot of our resources on the public health preparedness. Actually, like as they say, prevention is better than cure. And if we have actually good public health systems in place to find out such outbreak, even if one patient is actually getting affected, and we can isolate the patient and make sure that it doesn't spread, it will be going on in a long way. And in fact, actually, even developed countries are having this problem. They have actually been found wanting that such information has been not been anticipated, and like people like the countries such as United States are suffering. They don't have that proper system in place. So it's important to learn the lessons, especially in the terms of preparedness, and to maintain actually the basic health procedures, like washing your hands, trying to actually avoid coughing openly. And these are the basic measures you can follow, because the respiratory infection can easily be spread through the droplets. So it's better to have a precaution, and it's important also to follow the recent development and to get up to date with what the developments are happening. Yeah.
Okay. The next question is slightly off topic from healthcare. It is so there is a question which asks how to deal with people with mental blockages owing to this isolation trauma.
In terms of isolation trauma, of course, I'm not a mental health professional, but what I can understand is it's very important to have your social networks and social contact. You can easily feel isolated and cut off, and you can experience symptoms of anxiety, and it's very normal actually. Even if you're not suffering from any mental disturbances before, it's normal to actually undergo such trauma, but it's also very important to take care of yourself and try to actually keep yourself busy by doing activities that you like, and probably try to exercise at home, stay in touch with all the people you know online. So that's the best way you can actually try to keep away from social isolation. Yeah.
The next question is about the surface spread. So you threw some data about the spread time on different surfaces. Do we have any data of a dry surface versus a wet surface?
Okay, in the terms of wet surfaces, actually they tell that the more the humidity, for example, if there is a humidity of 50% and above, the survival rate of the virus is comparatively half, reduced to half. But usually in other surfaces where the humidity is less, it can stay viable even for a week. 5 to 7 days it can be viable. So that is actually the difference between the survivability in a wet and a dry environment. So of course, it's a bit of a protection if you have high humidity, but the virus can still be present for 2 or 3 days, which can lead you to further infection. So yeah.
Got it. So any correlation? I'm sorry. Anything about the plasma therapy with COVID-19?
Plasma therapy, actually, coalescent plasma. It is to do with getting the antibodies of the people who have recovered from the virus, and they are trying to actually infuse it into patients who are suffering right now. Some trials are underway. It's usually, ideally, like it's to do with all the infections. They try this therapy. Some of the therapies have been potent, but it also depends upon the mutation rate of the virus. If the virus is continuously changing its form, it's very hard to get a consistent therapy for that. So the trials are on the way. It's not a proven protocol so far. The best thing actually for us is to develop a vaccine, to instead of just using a plasma, but to develop vaccine in the long run. That is actually the solution for this pandemic. Yeah.
Thanks for it. The next question is about the mode of diagnosis. So today we have the diagnostic kit, we have the rapid kit, so on and so forth. But since it affects the respiratory tract and the lungs, can there be any alternate diagnostic methods like an X-ray? Can there be any alternate?
Okay. In terms of diagnostic methods, people have actually used X-ray, and some people have also used CT scan. But it's not a proper diagnostic. It can help you, and it can be correlated with the main culture. Okay, because a lot of conditions can cause you a respiratory symptom. I mean, like a respiratory finding on an X-ray. We cannot correlate it directly, but it can be helpful to be like substitute. It cannot be substituted, but it can be a aid along with the main test. Yeah.
Right. Can we see any surge in numbers or any adverse effect because of rains, which are, some parts of India it is raining. So can we see a surge in numbers there because it is again related to the respiratory tract?
It's very seasonal actually. It's to do with a lot of seasonal flu. Usually it comes during the cold time, and it's how actually it works as well. It's the same feature. It's a kind of a flu virus, right? So it does actually thrive well in these kinds of environments, and it's very important to take more care during these circumstances. Yeah.
Okay. Do we have any special recommendation of person patients with dementia?
I don't specifically actually have any information on dementia as such, but I can say it's very important for persons with dementia to have the social support, because the social support is a very important part for their recovery as well, and taking care of them. And during these hours, it can be very, very helpful for people to continue with the social support. Sometimes we are very helpless, but we should be trying to actually use the means of technology to get in touch with them and help them in carrying out their daily activities. So that's what I would say about it. But yeah.
Got it. Another question on safety measures for the frontline workers.
Yeah.
So do you probably a summarized set of recommendations for the frontline workers?
So the depends actually. Though, if you are working as a frontline worker, it's very important. Right? So you'll be directly in touch with the patients, and you are at the high risk group. So it's always recommended to have the full PPE, the patient protective equipment, and also to adhere to the general guidelines of what we call the universal protocols, especially with the hand hygiene. And you should be more particular about the hand hygiene and other measures when compared to the general public. And it cannot be substituted for patient protective equipment. If you are in a front line, you must have it. Yeah.
Got it. So another question on the symptoms. So we know that the symptoms does not show instantaneously. Sometimes it takes 14 days, which means there is every possibility of communal spread there.
Yeah.
Any number of people inside the family, in the apartment, so on and so forth. So do you have any words on that? So how do we self-diagnose certain things, or any remedy for that at all?
Self-diagnosis is not recommended actually in this case, because it's also like during the time of flu, and it can create a lot of other anxiety as well. Because when we have actually the season of flu, and when we have this virus also going around, we might get actually more scared and getting more anxious. So I don't think so. Self-diagnosis is warranted. However, if you have symptoms actually like severe symptoms, as I told you, the specific symptoms of this virus are like this disease is breathlessness and also like dry cough and with a high degree of fever. So if you feel that these are the symptoms, and you had actually any history of foreign travel or any contact with a person who might be infected, you might get yourself tested actually, or get in touch with the social services. It can help you with that.
Got it. Any words on pregnant women? Do we have any data of the fetus or the infant getting affected because the mother has COVID positive?
As far as I'm concerned, there has been actually no report of vertical transmission, but we have to keep following. We don't have the enough data actually right now to do research about what's been happening on the fetus. So I'm not aware of it, but yes.
Okay. And off late we see a lot of patients being discharged by the government in hospitals. And
Yes.
there is also data that people who have tested negative over a period of time test positive as well. So how do you handle those situations?
In the terms of actually the patients who have been discharged, of course, the patients are recovered and they have taken the protocol to see that all the patients have been tested negative. And only if they have actually returned the test negative, they have been discharged in the first place. So I would say that they continue with the same measures of hygiene, and they try to actually have the same protocol as the general population would do. That there won't be anything as such specifically, but I would also recommend them to self-monitor, if there is actually any symptoms of recur, because it seems that there is also a chance of reinfection which might happen, and the people who are recovered, a few of the people have developed the symptoms again. So I would suggest to have a note about that and keep a track about this and keep yourself and others safe as well. Yeah. Okay. Even if there are any other questions which need answer, probably I can take it out and we can send an email to everyone who is there. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but thanks everyone for joining, and it was a great pleasure to have everyone and for your kind words. Much appreciated. And I hope that everyone stays safe and get through these difficult times. We are fighting this war together, and we will win it. Yeah, and take care of yourself. Yeah. Take care. Take care.
Thanks, everybody. Thanks for joining.